Hi, it's me, Miss Carol. We're going to have science today by reading this wonderful book. I think you'll really enjoy it. And it's called How to Dig a Hole to the Other Side of the World. We're going to find out more about rock and sand and dirt, all the things we're talking about. So let's turn the page and see what's next. Find a soft place, take a shovel, and start to dig a hole. The dirt you dig up is called loam. Loam, or topsoil, is made up of tiny bits of rock mixed with many other things, such as plants and worms that died and rotted long ago. When you've dug through the topsoil, you'll come to clay or gravel or sand. And by the way, next week we're going to talk more about that. The digging will be harder. When the hole is 5 or 6 feet deep, you had better ask a friend to help. He can pull up the clay or gravel in a bucket while you stay at the bottom of the hole and keep digging. Sooner or later, you'll come to rocks. All sorts of rocks, big rocks, little rocks, granite, limestone, sandstone. If you started your hole in Africa, you might even find diamonds. In Brazil, you might find emeralds. In other places, you might find coal or gold or silver. Wherever you dig, watch for old bones and shells. The bones of many animals, like dinosaurs, giant tigers, turtles, and other creatures of long ago, are buried everywhere. If you find those animals, just dust them off carefully and save them. When you have dug about 50 feet down, maybe more, maybe less, you will come to solid rock. This is the rocky skin of the earth, called the crust. It's mostly made of granite. We've talked a lot about granite. To dig through it, you will need a drilling machine, so start drilling. You may hit water, because rain sinks through the topsoil and gathers in pools and underground rivers. If you come to water, you should put on a diving suit. You may come to a lake of black, gooey oil. If you hit oil, it would be best to give up this hole and just start another somewhere else. Keep drilling. When you have drilled down a mile or so, the rock will be warm. This is because heat flows up into the rock from the center of the earth. You may hit boiling water or steam. This is because rainwater drips down through cracks onto very hot rock. Sometimes it comes up again. In some places on earth, hot water bubbles up in springs or shoots up in geysers. Because of the boiling water and steam, you're going to need an asbestos diving suit. Stay out of the way of geysers. Now, if you did get caught up in a geyser, it could carry you up to the surface and shoot you into the air. When you come down, you'd have to start digging all over again. Keep drilling for 10 or 20 miles. You will come to a kind of rock called basalt. Basalt is hard, very hard and black and smooth and heavy. There's a layer of basalt 2 or 3 miles thick wrapped around the earth. Keep drilling. As you go deeper, the basalt will get hotter and hotter. It will get so hot that it will melt and glow dark red. And melted basalt is called magma. I bet you guessed that. This is the stuff that sometimes shoots out of cracks in the earth and makes volcanoes. When it cools on top of the ground, it is called lava. Volcanoes are very dangerous. Be careful and don't get caught in one. To get through that red-hot magma, You will need a jet-propelled submarine. It must have a supercooling system, a fireproof skin, and a drill at the tip of its nose. Your no spaceship must be very strong. An ordinary one would be squashed by the weight of the magma around it, or burned up by the heat. Down here below the crust of the earth, it is hotter than any fire you ever felt. And it will get hotter and hotter the deeper you go. When you've gone down about 150 miles, you're in what is called the mantle of the earth. The mantle is made of basalt that is melted into goo and at the same time is harder than steel. It is melted by the great heat and is hard because of the great weight above that's pressing it down. Keep drilling. You still have a long way to go. The mantle is 1,700 miles thick. As you go down, down, down in your fireproof submarine, you will notice that the color of the mantle turns from red to orange to yellow. This is because it's getting hotter and hotter. At the bottom of the mantle, the temperature is more than 3,000 degrees Celsius. It is so hot that if your spaceship caught fire, it wouldn't even leave an ash. At the bottom of the mantle, you are more than halfway to the center of the earth. Now, you must go through what is called the outer core of the earth. It is a mixture of melted rock and iron. It is 1,300 miles thick. It will be hard going, but if you have come this far, you should keep on. You are getting very, very close to the center of the earth. After the outer core comes the inner core. The inner core of the earth is a ball of solid iron. It is so hot it glows with white light. Go 860 miles straight down and you will be at the center of the earth. Now, the center of the earth is a place where east meets west, north meets south, and up meets down. At the center of the earth, there is nothing under you. Every direction is up. Your feet are pointing up, and your head is pointing up, both at the same time, because there's nothing under you. You will weigh nothing. You will float inside your no spaceship. The weight of the whole world will press down on your ship. Do not stay long. Go straight ahead and begin the long trip up. Go 860 miles through the inner core and 300 miles through the outer core. Drill up and up and up through the mantle, and then through the magma, and then through the crust, and then through the rocks and sand and clay. At last, you will come to the surface. You will be about 8,000 miles from where you started to dig, on the opposite side of the world. If you started in the United States, where it says North America there, then you will come out at the bottom of the Indian Ocean. It will be delightfully cool, but full of sharks. Stay in your submarine and steer it to the top. There you can open the hatch and you will see the sky and the sun, or perhaps it will be night, and you will see the moon and the stars. If you have a sail, hoist it and start paddling home or sailing. When you get home, you can tell everyone you have dug the deepest hole in the world and are very, very glad to be back on top of the earth. The end. I hope you like this book. I love it. I want you to know it's full of science and truth about our earth, but I think we really couldn't do what the pictures say. That would be impossible, I think. I wondered if we could just end this with our song about volcanoes. You won't see my face here. I'm going to just sing it. Here's the hot lava lying underground. Hotter and hotter, it makes a rumbling sound. Up through the crater, it reaches the top. Out the volcano, listen to the pop. Down, 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 hot lava.